a director of K54 English, and welcome to free 7-rule email course. Today is Rule 1. Now, Rule 1 is learn English phrases, not individual words. This one just like the other rules. Very simple, very easy, and like the other rules, this rule is very powerful. It's so simple, it's powerful. What is the rule? What is the rule? The rule is always learn phrases, not individual words. So simple. A phrase is a group of words, but it's just an even part of sentence. So, for example, let's say you have the word hit, H-A-T-E, hit, and you want to learn this new word. You write down the word hit, and you find it from the dictionary the meaning, and you memorizing it. Hit. That's the old way. That's the kind of textbook way, the school way. Right? In school, you probably remember a lot of individual words. You have big vocabulary list. You try to memorize all of them. You try to memorize all of individual words, single words. It's not a good way to learn. It's not a good way to learn. Much better if you learn the phrase, a group of words. And where do you find the phrase? You find this phrase in the real English podcast that you listening to, in the real English story books that you are reading. So you don't memorize the rest in the book. No. You listen to real English, and when you hear a new word, you write down. Or when you're reading a storybook, when you see a new word, you write down. But you do not write down just that word. You are going to write down whole phrase or part of sentence that is end, all of it. So instead of the hit, you write down the hit. You would say, you write down John hates ice cream. You write down whole phrase. Why do we do this? What is the power of the phrases? What is the power of the phrases? Well, the phrases give to a lot of information, much more information. Number one, phrases are easy to remember because they have meaning. They have kind of a picture of the story, especially when you get them from something that you are reading or listening to. You remember it. John has ice cream. You remember the whole story. You remember the whole journey. You remember he has an ice cream. He has ice cream. He didn't like it. Rising of the extra information help you remember the meaning of the phrase and the meaning of the word. So it help you remember. Memory much easier to memory. Number 2, there is a bonus. When you learn phrases, you are learning grammar also. You are not only learning individual words, you are learning grammar. You are learning how to use the word correctly. You don't need to think about grammar. You don't need to know rules. It's automatic. This is another way that native speakers learn English grammar. Because we were children, we learned with phrases. We learn group of words, not just one word, by one word, by one word. Word by word is slow and it doesn't help. And you don't learn any grammar. When you learn whole phrase, you write down phrase, you are getting extra information. Maybe you don't know it, but you are. For example, John has ice cream. Just that word. Just John has. You know from grammar study, making the subject is a verb agree. You don't need to think about that. Just write down the phrase. John has ice cream and study it, review it. Always learn the phrase, not just word. And so in the future, whenever you say, he has ice cream, she has ice cream, you will ask the right. You learn it correctly. You learn it from a phrases. On the other hand, if you learn it from the textbook, you just learn the word hate means does not like. You learn from hate. You are study, you memorize it. That's when you stop making mistakes, because you learned it from only this one way. You didn't learn the other words. Sometimes you will say he hates ice cream. You will forward because you never learn it correctly in the sentences, in the phrase. So it is very simple rule, and each rule in the course very simple, important, very important. Every time you will find a new word, always write the phrase or the sentence. When you review that word again, when you study it again, always the word phrase. Do this every time. Your grammar will begin improve much faster, and you will remember the vocabulary faster and more easily, and you will use that vocabulary more quickly. So you get a lot of great benefits. A lot of great stuff happens when you learn phrases instead of words. So phrases, learn them. So I hope you enjoy rule number 1. Use this rule, and your homework is to get a little phrase notebook. You want to find a new English vocabulary in the lesson is something that you listen to in the book, in the article. Write down the phrase, not just one word. Write down the entire, the whole phrase, what that you find, and then review that phrase again and again each day. You will create notebook full of phrases, full of sentences, not individual words, never individual word. Okay, so that's rule 1. Tomorrow I will get another email with rule number 2. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye.